So, do y'all have the slides pulled up already?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hold on, I'm still getting there.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get started.
Okay.
So today, y'all saw my email, but today we're going to, as promised last time, we're going to review our Zearn reports. So look at the data of how students are performing on Zearn and decide who maybe needs some celebration or motivation outside of the celebration and motivation that you're already doing. And then I'm going to give you guys some time to plan interactive notebooks, and I'll explain to you why that choice was made here shortly, and I'll show you some data in that as well. So to begin with, let's celebrate and share how we're tracking and incentivizing Zearn. So I asked you guys if you did to bring a picture of the current Zearn tracker that you're using, and you can just kind of share it with your team, share it with me, show me the incentives that you're using. I've seen most of them, but I'd like y'all to share them with each other. And then I'm gonna ask that, I'm gonna assign you guys a slide in this, and afterwards, if you can just add your pictures to the slide. Okay. And the reason why is because if some people in the building are having a hard time with their incentives or their tracker and they want to change things up, I can say, oh, it's working really well in Miss Clements' class, go look at first grade slide and check out what they're doing. You know, you guys know as teachers, it's real easy to feel isolated in an island and not see the other amazing things happening in other classrooms. So this is a way for us to share good things that are happening. So whoever wants to start and share what you're doing and how it's working for you, and how it's working for your students right now.
Mine, it has gone very, very, very well. They like being able to see it being clipped up. So I've also done it for Lexia now too. It's kind of a little bit different, but I kind of did it the same way. Mine's just like that, and I have index cards on the side, so when they go clip up, they see if they get 2 lessons, Fun Friday, 3 lessons, Fun Friday Dojo points, 4+ lessons, Fun Friday Dojo points, and treasure box.
I really liked that. I saw that you added the incentives to the actual.
Yeah, I put it on there just so they can see it.
Can I see? And I thought that was a really simple way to do it too. Like,
yeah, I just put it on there.
Do too much. It's very simple. Kids can see exactly what it is. Jill, she left hers very simple. It's like, if they got 2 lessons, they got or 3 lessons, I think, take their shoes off and sit in the chair. And it's literally says 3, and then it says the incentive on the actual clip up.
Yeah.
Now, do they, as soon as they get like 3 and it shoes off, from that day on, they get shoes off?
No, just for that day. So most people are pulling it on Friday.
Yeah, I do mine Fridays.
Now, Kara, she's pulling hers every day, but she doesn't do the incentives till Friday.
Okay, same.
Gotcha.
I showed them every single day
I
where
do
they are,
yes.
but I don't do
the incentive until
rewards
Friday.
until
Friday. I do that as well.
All right, who wants to go next?
Mine looks just like Jana's, but we had an issue, so I've realized on Zearn, after they complete like the number gym or a sprint or math lab, it'll say Zearned it, and they were clipping up, and I was like, so we had to go over, in order to clip up, it has to say Zearned it less than 14, and then you earn a badge. So we had to figure that out.
So then they know
tell
when
everybody
they move
that.
it themselves?
Yes. So I had a friend in my class who kept clipping up and up and up, and then they were on yellow by like Tuesday, and I was like, whoa, what are we doing? And then I was like, when you complete it, let me see your computer. And it says like Zearned it, but it has no badge and it has no lesson number.
So they were saying
so you had to, you had to like kind of go.
I've just been doing it.
You're gonna do it yourself.
Well, no, I have them go do it, but
I tell them
I
when
pull
to
it up
do
and
it.
I'm like,
and I told them like,
I don't think
this is kind of really for them to see, because
Yeah,
I checked the report.
Me too.
Yeah.
So if they happen to clip up 2 spaces,
Right.
well, you know, they love to tattle on each other. But I just let them, let them figure it out. But I'm like, at the end of the day, on Friday, I'm like, that's who's really going to get the reward,
Yeah.
is when I see it on Zearn.
Yeah. And that is the whole point of that, is that they're seeing it, they're motivated, they're wanting to
But
do
I had, like, when I first did this, I had, like, seriously, like 12 kids on yellow. And I'm like, oh, we've all completed 4+ lessons? I don't know. So I went and looked, and then I figured out that after every mission, it says Zearned it. So I had to figure out.
So on the slide that I have for you guys to add your pictures, can I put important note and you type up what you found out, just so
remind
the
me.
rest of the staff can, I'll literally assign it to Olivia and you can put that there.
Yeah,
and then
it'll
I'll
be
share it with the rest
specific
of the
about what
staff.
it says.
Yeah, because that's something that everybody kind of
Yeah,
needs to.
because I had like just like numerous friends getting up like every 5 minutes, and I was like, okay,
How are
There's
we
no-
learning it that
and I was like,
fast?
wait, something's not right, and then I figured out, and then I just have the incentives in on an anchor
I
chart.
love that.
I'm just doing it after, like, when we finish.
Okay.
You know, when we finish, and then I'm like, okay, let's go see, and then they just go up there and they all just go move
So I
on.
just
So
told
do you have your clip chart up as well?
Mhm.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a picture of it yet?
No, because I forgot.
Oh.
But it looks exactly like there.
Yeah, I know.
Hers is at the front of the
y'all
room.
did the same thing.
by her
Yeah, it's
board.
right by the board.
But
and,
y'all have different incentives, right?
and different
Yeah.
incentives. And mine, just because it's easy for me, and all my prizes are very small little prizes.
Yep.
So they get 2, they get 1 prize, they get 3 units, they get 2 prizes, they
Okay.
get a 4 or higher, they get 3 prizes.
Love it. Perfect.
So
Yep.
yeah, easy for me.
Whatever works for you. So what we're gonna do now is, I know y'all are keeping up with your reports, but let's take about just like 3 to 5 minutes. If y'all can, pull up your Zearn reports and I'll pull up on the slide, or you can go to the slide number 7 if you need a reminder on how to pull up that tower alert or the pace. But
See, the lucky thing is we've been doing this
y'all do it all the
for
time. Yes,
like last year.
Yes.
So
yes.
we're more used to
So
it.
y'all kind of got a thing going, but you can put what is working with your Zearn tracker incentives. We basically just discussed that. The main thing I really want y'all to look at on here is who needs to be celebrated and who needs to be motivated. Maybe outside of the tracker that you're already doing, because if there's a student that has 0 and they've done at least 1, but they're not getting to get an incentive, or somebody who's not ever clipping up, write their names down so you know to pull them in a small group and talk to them about it. So I'll give y'all like 3 minutes to reflect on that, and then anything that you want, that you need from me, your team, or from yourself to improve the process in your class. Because ideally this is to support our tier 1 by doing more Zearn and getting more completed, but also to make sure our small groups are smoother, quieter, because kids are more focused on Zearn.
Right.
So if you don't feel like that's happening because of this, jot that down for me. So I'll give y'all about 3 minutes to
Can I say
reflect
one
on
thing?
that. Of course.
Because I don't know if it's on here, but I feel like today when they were getting to clip up, some of the kids were like, "Why did you know?" I was working too, so like I don't know what's going on, if they're really, because I do think some of them really are working,
Right.
but
They're
do they
not
just keep
completing
missing
that-
them?
They're
Do
not
they?
completing that mission, or they're
So,
keep missing them.
but it's
you
not.
can
It's
also
not.
look on
But it's
here.
not like on purpose.
Right.
Now, they are trying to get them.
Right. So those would be the kids that maybe you could pull to a small group and kind of just look at their.
Give them your
What's
rocket
that?
time.
That report? What is the report called? Is it the pace one or the tower alert where it shows? I think it's the tower alert. It shows you like how many hints and how many times they're messing up.
Mhm.
So maybe pull on just those specific students.
Question, rocket time.
Yes.
If we have kids that they really need, like, just, come on, let's go, let's do it. Like, I need you right beside me.
Yes.
Could it be kids that need that Zearn, and
Absolutely.
Mr. Smith or whoever it may be comes out there and they have a group of 4 and it's just making sure they're staying on?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you feel like the tier 3 time's not absolutely necessary for them to move forward with your tier 2.
Yeah.
If they're not completing their 2 a week, then that rocket time can be
Yeah.
used for that, to make sure like someone's over them and
Yeah.
like helping them.
Because I only
and
have a
guide them
few,
through it.
but
And we want them all to feel
Right.
successful at some point.
Right. Well, I just have one that's on,
Yeah.
module 1, lesson 3. And
Someone's
then I
gonna have to sit down with
Yeah.
them and help them. So if I give y'all about 1 more minute
Yes.
or 2 minutes, I'll give you till 45.
Okay.
You need help with reports, Olivia?
Well, okay, hold on. I was like really looking, and then I realized, well, what I was really looking at is I was looking at why my percentage was so, like 2 weeks ago, my percentage was like 65% of kids were completing 3+ lessons, and this week it's 35. And I was like, why is it so low, and why is it, and so then I was looking at the kids, like, per kid,
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I changed their lessons to what we're learning now, the strategies to make 10. So it's a little harder.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
started a new module.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I changed it, and I was like, why are we at
That's good.
35%? But I
You're just
changed.
gonna be the Zearn queen.
She does love her some Zearn.
No, y'all. But I was like looking, and I was like, why is this like lower? But
I
no,
know.
I'm like too type A, y'all. That's
Yeah.
why.
No, but it helps all of us because you figure these things out for us.
Well, no, I get stressed, and I'm like stressed going on maternity leave. But that's why I was like, why is this so much lower? And then I was like,
Good point.
it's strategies to make 10.
So that might
And-
be another note that we put is when you change a module, you might not see as much completion as you
Yeah.
were seeing at the end of a module.
And that's another thing that was a little hard though, is like when you change your modules and you change like topics.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
It matches, but like you really have to know what
Yeah.
you're doing, and so
Yeah.
that was a little hard. Like,
Okay, well, I'll
like-
keep that in mind for next time when we look at reports, is saying, okay, are we gonna change anything? Do we need to look at what we're gonna change?
yeah, because like it does align with Eureka, but you have to really
The names are different.
yes,
Yeah.
and like I'm not a math person, so I had to really figure out.
You
like,
are a math person now.
Well, I know Leslie, but
I
I had
know,
to-
Leslie.
like mission 2 says math place value.
Yeah.
But like we're on module 2, so I'm like, is mission and module the same thing? Like, whatever. Anyway.
So this is where you'll add pictures of your incentives. Y'all keep doing your little reflection. I'm not asking you to turn that into me. That's for you to know
This
who to
sheet-
pull or focus on. Yes. That's strictly for you. What do I need to do to improve? Just kind of a reflection point for you.
Well, on the who needs to be celebrated, is that anybody that has 2 or more?
No, so you already have a system for that, but maybe there's somebody who
Kason.
you're pulling for small group all the time and they're not getting clip up, or somebody who hasn't done any and they've finally done a little bit and you want to just kind of give them a little bit more encouragement that they're not getting the incentive, but you're seeing them progress. Who could you maybe during small group just be like, hey, I noticed that you're working harder.
And
You're
those are the
so
ones that need to be
close."
motivated?
They could be celebrated or motivated, yes.
Okay.
I did celebrate it also for like, cause I have some kids. Roderick
Really
was
high.
last year. That are like,
Some get like
I'm
6
getting
and
out
7.
7
Yeah,
lessons a week, and I'm like, I really need to be giving you more than
Right.
just a treasure box, like just my 4, because some kids make 4, but you're making 7. Like,
Yeah.
that's more than 1 lesson per day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like-
like looking at, do I need to offer some extra
Right.
incentives
That's
from
yeah.
my-
That was my thing. Now the ones that always did that, like Valor and Kason, both always go above. Yeah. So
All right, are y'all ready to
yes.
move on? Okay, so the next slide, if y'all just want to follow on the slides, the reason why we're going to be talking about interactive notebooks today, so you guys know I'm in my mentorship program in my classes right now, and something I talk to my site mentor about all the time is we bring up non-negotiables and what that data looks like in the building. So one of the non-negotiables, honestly, that I have not focused on as much as I should this first 9 weeks is interactive notebooks. And I know that really hasn't been a focus in every classroom. No offense if it has been in your classroom, I'm not saying that, but it just kind of falls behind more than the other things. So I wanted to give you guys time to plan till Thanksgiving break, some interactive notebook input, but also to look at, like, this is the current data right now. So I've been doing walkthroughs, and this is honestly, I'm just being transparent with y'all. The blue, the yes, evidence of use of interactive notebooks was honestly like a little bit of fluff. If I saw something in an interactive notebook, I put yes.
Yes.
You all know that when instructional rounds begin, they're gonna look for current things, and they're gonna be looking for that students are actually pulling them out and using them, or that they're on the desk, or that kids can easily identify things in their notebooks. So my goal for all of us, for the math, I'm gonna call the math department, everybody who teaches math, is to get to 100% by the end of the first semester. So evidence of use of notebooks, and that is on me as well to provide time for you guys with that, but also to do intentional walkthroughs with that and to help you if you're struggling with it. So first, I just kind of want to know, this is, what do we want all students to be able to do with interactive notebooks, and how will we know if the interactive notebooks are successful? And this is something that Leslie and I were already chatting about before y'all walked in. So, like, y'all have used interactive notebooks before, y'all are using them, starting to use them this year. What purpose do you want your interactive notebook to have in your classroom? Other than a check mark for district non-negotiable.
I mean, realistically, I think that's what I'm still trying to figure out.
Okay.
I want them to use it as a tool, but I can't say that it's very accessible, because it is very, very hard for them to understand that this notebook is not for you to do drawings and journals. And so I am very anal, and I'm like, this is Mr. Pennington's notebook, you have your own. So I do keep mine, but they have times where they get to use it, so I don't know if that's okay or not, but I want them to use it as a tool, but it's really hard
If we could figure out how to organize it
Without
so
taking up
that,
so much time.
Yeah.
and like, I mean, it's almost like if it's in the same notebook as something there. Okay, maybe it would be helpful if we did it like this. I mean, we already use our Smart Pal.
Yeah.
It's got all of our templates in there.
Yep.
That's what we use.
Yep.
It's almost like all of those need to be, because that's what they want.
So
To me, it doesn't matter if it's an interactive notebook or if it's in
the
a
Smart
If
Pal,
it's a Smart Pal.
Same. I
But
agree.
they just want it in there.
So
So
putting
to
the
make
templates.
it- So maybe if we could have our template for, okay, maybe if we had like our tin frame.
Yes.
Okay, so we glue that in there. Then maybe if we left like so many pages for that thing. Okay, then if we had our little thing or whatever, then, okay, so we could open up our notebook, and if it had our, so if it had our template in here, okay, then we could use it as like our Smart Pal maybe, and then we could come over here and we could do our work with it and use our manipulatives on it, and then turn our page and glue it right there.
Love it.
And then the next time when so maybe, and I don't know how we're gonna do it, but maybe for each template that we have different little sections, but maybe it'd be a lot of work at first, but maybe the little tab could have a picture of that template, and we could say,
This is your
turn
10 frame
to
column.
your
This
10
is-
frame, and then we're gonna do our thing, and then we're gonna glue it there. And then, okay, say if we're doing a number bond, okay,
Go to
today
your
we're
number
using
bond.
number bonds. Turn to your number bond template.
So question,
But I don't
first off,
know.
I love this.
I mean,
I love where you're going with this, cause like, I will say Jill Tanner does not have the prettiest interactive notebook, but
Honey,
her
but they
students
work.
whip it out and they use it. And she has stuff that's laminated in there, things that you would use in your Smart Pals. So I love the idea of like taking a number bond, taking a 10 frame, taking those, the blank number sentences with different spots where they can write numbers with equal signs, and the equal signs being in different places, like number sentences. I love having ideas like that laminated in your notebook. It might be simpler if you wanted to, like, say this is your notebook, to put all your templates in the back
Could do that.
instead of trying to,
That
just
way,
as a start, instead of trying to tab them right now.
yeah, but I mean, I only have one in my language one, and
Yeah.
I've got it glued down. They all come undone. They all,
yeah.
the lamination doesn't stick.
It doesn't stick,
Mm-mm.
even on
And-
like this piece.
I will
And then-
say, I did find them from Temu, but they're like,
She used,
yeah, they're like sticky tabs, and they
Okay.
stick.
yeah.
Like they
I thought
don't.
you used tape on your.
I did on that. I haven't used my tabs for that yet, though.
Okay.
Like I used it for a different book that I
But
did.
how? Okay, and so is she putting them on the pages?
She puts them here. She's got her main templates that she uses here and here. She's got a number or a 100 star, multiples, and then she's got some things just like glued
Throughout.
Is
But
there,
then they gotta find them.
Yeah,
So
but
is-
that's why I was saying, like, would
And
it be
like
smart
ours-
to like work backwards
And watch
or
this,
some of them?
Marla, if we tell them to put something in their journal,
I know.
first clean page, and then they'll have their thing up here, and then they'll have it way back in the back.
I will say that's why I have liked that alphabet. This is literacy, but the alphabet thing, I taped this
She uses it
thing
as a
on
bookmark.
here, and I use it as a bookmark too. So it's taped out here, which you could do it with a hundreds chart as well. You tape it out, and then it flips over, and any page
Keeps
that
their
they're in,
spot.
it has the letters, it has the digraphs, it has all of that, but it also keeps their spot. So when I close it, I'm like, I just want you to open it up to the page.
Could we do that
That's what I'm saying. And instead of a with a 100s chart instead of an
Okay.
alphabet chart.
But still, how are we
'Cause-
using?
Like, that's what I was about to ask. Is there any K2 notebooks that are working? Like, I feel like a lot of the examples are teachers 3-5, and their kids are
Yes.
like,
They can
Great
find that
question.
stuff.
So let me go ahead and show you. I'll kind of skip this next part. What I can show you what kindergarten came up with.
okay,
But
that might be helpful.
I showed, so kindergarten doesn't have what y'all have, which is an interactive
Yeah.
notebook that aligns to your curriculum, which is what you have
Yeah.
printed off right
Yes.
there, that you can use, and you can use that too in lieu of your problem set.
Okay.
So like, since those questions look very much like your problem set, you could skip your problem set that day,
And
and you could do
this
an interactive
instead.
notebook. If you're having a hard time finding an input, output for your interactive notebook.
So that's what I was gonna do. So I printed some off. I
Because
did
you
this one
can, you
today.
told me, I think you said you did that
Instead
today,
of the
Leslie, but
policy.
y'all can totally, I got approval from Dr. Lightfoot that y'all can skip the problem set if the problems look similar
to
to
the
the problem
okay.
set and use that time to do your interactive
Interactive
notebook.
notebooks.
The other thing, so what kindergarten's doing is, let me rewind. So I wanted to show y'all have this pulled up. This thing's been so glitchy for me today. But I wanted to show you, so kindergarten standards, mainly that they're talking about like weight, what's shorter, what's longer. They're talking about volume, comparisons. That's their standards for the next 2.5 weeks. So their plan is, when they're doing the problem set, or not the problem set, the concept development, or when they're doing their anchor chart, they're gonna have, and I think we talked about this last year, they're gonna have students, they're gonna like print the anchor chart off
That's
and have certain parts that are blank, but like, for example, for this, let me talk about this one right here. So they're gonna have exactly this, but then they're gonna have words that say heavier and lighter. And they're gonna have kids glue it to which one it goes to. That's the way it's gonna be interactive. This one right here, the kids are gonna get this, but without the strips, snakes, and they're gonna have to sort and glue them. And they're gonna do that during their small group time.
Would rocket time is that allowed if we did a interactive notebook during rocket time? Or is that?
If it's a math day,
Mm-hmm.
and that, I have not been told no.
Okay. I just didn't know if like we could, do more in our
If you
interactive
feel like
notebook.
it's something that
Yeah.
can support your
Yeah.
two, you could do it like, cause first grade and kindergarten, some of this stuff, like, they have to do this one during a small group. They're
Mhm.
gonna have to.
Right.
This one right here, they can probably do this one peer to peer or whole group, cause they're gonna print the whole thing off and they're just gonna cut out little words that say heavier and lighter, and the kids can do that more independently. This one right here, they're gonna have different things that kids can glue, like, okay, that's length, that's
Mhm.
height, that's weight, that's capacity, and they'll glue it into there, so that's gonna be a little bit more independent as well.
Mhm.
So they can do that during their concept development and kind of cut some of their concept development. So, those are some options that if you don't wanna use the things that align with the curriculum, and you wanna make it actually useful for them, to align it with what your anchor chart looks like.
I've done some of that where I just have them recreate my anchor chart. Like as I'm making an anchor chart, I make them do it in their notebook.
Yeah.
But I don't print it for them. Like I make them draw it. Valor is really good at that.
So do you feel like that kind of stuff's more useful, or doing like this this or do you see that they're both?
I think it's both beneficial. I mean, honestly, I think it's just kind of based on teacher preference, whatever you feel is working best for your kids. Because the kids in my class are not the same as the kids in their class.
Yeah.
So, like, what works for me might not work for them, and what works for them might not work for me. So, I mean, I could see it being both. I use mine, I print them off in different colors, so they know that orange is module 2. But I would like to do more of, like, that kind of stuff as well.
Something
I think
that
it'd
they
be
can, like, look
helpful,
back
yeah.
at and,
But when are they supposed to be able to, like, get these out? So when we give a math test, are we allowed to give them the interactive notebook, or are we not supposed to do that?
So mainly, like, you would want them to be accessible during problem set,
Okay,
during they could use them during exit ticket,
okay,
and then during small group
okay,
instruction.
okay.
You could pull them out during concept development, but I know you want to keep them,
Mm-hmm.
but the expectation is that they're that they're accessible.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit different for, I mean, kindergartners, Julie said when she puts an anchor chart in there,
Mhm.
they're more likely to flip back
To it.
that
Mm-hmm.
than just some random problem
See, I've
set
done
or
that.
activity.
I haven't done it in math, but I've done it in literacy, where like I found like the cups, like capital, understanding, punctuation, whatever, and I've told them to refer back to it. Like I've made them like get it out and use it for your writing, and no joke, probably about 10. And I know they have like just to prove, like I have a smarter class.
Right.
They even like my bubble kids, my average kids, my smart, like it's some, I don't know. It's just it's a really hard. It's a very hard thing to like.
It's a skill to be learned for them. So
Yeah.
like, if
And
you
so
ever feel
even
like
my super smart kids don't refer back to it.
if you ever feel defeated in that sense, and I think what I said this to y'all's team last year, like remember that you're teaching them a skill because they're gonna have to use it here at North Little Rock School District until senior year. It's a non-negotiable. So it's a skill that we're getting them used to working in a notebook. Like we're also just teaching them those things. You're working in a notebook. That you have information
You know what the
in it.
frustrating part probably is? That we spend so much time doing stuff like that when we know how low they are. Like we know that we need to just be sitting there just doing math.
Like doing this
instead
of like gluing it in there.
That's why I do. That's why I do.
And I'm having
like
to go
this.
around and help so many people find
I
pages.
did this today in a small group, but I don't have this printed, nor did I have their interactive notebook. I had Mozzie bring his Writer Pal with the template in there from Eureka Math, and I was just sitting there writing out problems, having him find the part in 5 that you would give to the 8 to make a 10.
Right.
Like,
So my question is, would you guys want to do what second grade's doing, which is they're gonna do folders. I mean, you know folders don't. They're not gluing them. They don't want to glue.
Yeah, that's why I did. That's why I printed it off. Like our next one will be
They don't
yellow.
want to cut.
Third will.
Yeah, because it takes so long.
That's
They
why.
just want to glue, and they want to work in them, and they want to make that time useful.
Because
But
that's
my
right.
thing
We
is,
don't have
though,
enough
like
time.
I can make like I have
That's what
there's
I'm doing.
there's a lot of like
A
literacy
lot of
that
your concept development and do it during that time. Because there's so much of your concept development that can be shortened. It's very repetitive. Like when the other day when I was teaching second grade, I was able to do just the first part of concept development and get most of the lesson that needed to be to reach the target.
Yeah.
I
I
really
mean,
only had to do like 10 minutes. of
Yeah.
concept
If
development.
you had the time, it'd be
Yeah.
great.
So, really, this isn't something that's expected to be even every day.
Yeah.
Would one time a week be something that you would feel like you could make the time
Well, the
for?
deal is,
Or one time a topic even, unless the topic's super meaty.
I mean,
look, we don't mind doing anything
You just
if
want-
it is helpful
Yes.
and useful.
Yes.
Just to do it, we don't want to do that.
And that's
So,
why I want to
if
help
we
you.
could,
Like, I
like,
want this to be useful
if
for
we
you
could
guys.
think
'Cause
of
if we do
one or
have to
two
do
a
it,
week.
let's make it
Yeah,
useful.
if there's 1 or 2 a week that we could do and we could,
Be intentional about it.
yeah.
But I
So
think
let's do that.
Yeah, I think if we did like even calling on your math days, I mean, like you said, the tier, it's what, tier 3 for math, is that
Mhm.
correct? So I mean, with some of these lower kids, well, those are our exact standards,
And
so,
those are not tier 3.
Mm-mm. no.
well, like what I told some of mine is they all have a 10 frame glued in there. Don't mean it's ugly. not one of them uses it. But I was like, that's fine. And then I had one girl, she was like, can I use this as paper for Zearn? I said, go for it.
Yeah.
And she, like, no joke, she looks back at this to solve addition facts.
Yeah.
And I was
Fred
like,
does
I
that
know that's
every
no
day.
input output, but well, it might be one, I don't know. But I was like, she like
But
when
at
we do
least you're-
sprint,
yeah.
she looks back at these like after her sprint, and so I'm like, to me,
Why couldn't you use things like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to like when I have like another like 100s chart and stuff like that, I would glue in here. But I just told the whole class
this
they're
was-
such tangible kids.
This is what she used during Zearn.
Fred does it too. Fred
she
will
has,
draw
like, a
number
And you know,
times.
Zearn
Yeah,
has
I
the
know it
notes,
tells
too.
them. It tells them to
Yeah,
get
they told me
paper,
about that.
but I didn't know what it was.
So
Well,
I'm part of
just,
that.
then I might
so
print the
under
rest
the
of this
curriculum
off
resources,
and get
Uh-huh.
I have
paper
an
and
email.
just
I'll
stuff
send it to
paper
you
in the back
again,
of
but
this.
it
And
shows you
every
the
time I
exact
give them
steps
their
on how
Zearn,
to
I'm just gonna be
find
like, here you
the
go.
Zearn.
If you need to
Each-
use it, you can.
Each lesson from Zearn has notes that you can use too, if you wanted to use that.
Oh, yeah. I
Every
would look at
lesson
it.
has
Every lesson
Zearn
from
notes
Zearn has notes that
that you
align
can, like,
to the
fill out.
lesson. If you wanted them to use that during their Zearn time, they could do that, and that could be an interactive notebook input.
Where is that?
It's like somewhere.
I think it's on like resources.
It's under the curriculum resources. Let me just, instead, y'all wanna pull it up now, or you want me to just forward you the email with the steps?
Is it like super helpful or is it way like totally up to you?
So what do we go to?
I like it.
I can do
Okay,
it.
we
Go
could
to
do it
what?
now.
I mean,
Do you have
Assignment?
the time?
Resources?
What time are y'all done again?
Resources,
15 minutes.
maybe.
and then let's plan interactive notebooks first, and then I'll just send y'all an
Okay.
email with these
Okay.
steps.
So could that work?
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, because that's
Okay.
putting input in.
Because like kind of to go off of what Leslie said, like realistically, by the time I finish explaining the exit ticket, sending them
Yes.
to their seat to get on Zearn to start small group, my 30-minute small group is actually like 20, 15 minutes. I don't have time to glue. So that's what I was telling them, like I'm using like interactive or writer pals and stuff. But my friend, she was like, I thought she was passing notes, and I was about to get upset.
Oh,
She was
she's-
like, no, she was
using
ripping
it.
out paper to help solve.
Yeah.
I thought she was writing notes.
Yeah, so you could use you could use your Zearn time as an interactive notebook
Is that
input.
what they would want to see, district?
They want to see students utilizing them.
So I mean, that's putting work in.
What if I have some who are mental, like Terrell? He's super, like, mentally, like he doesn't really need to write anything.
I like the idea of y'all trying to put like what you put in your Smart Pals somewhere in there as well.
Okay.
Because that's going to be probably your biggest bang for your buck
Okay.
in terms of usefulness for students like that.
But we're in the middle of using it, like in the rough. I mean, would I make like a copy and have him glue it in there?
You could just ask them like when they're doing their problem set, like, hey, you can use the one in your interactive notebook, or you can use your writer pal. Have your interactive notebook out. Just try to like flip flop between them to get them more used to their notebooks.
Well, because you could even laminate
But they would write it with a pencil.
But you could laminate it, and they can.
Okay, what about
20
this?
strips.
What about this?
Laminating it would be 20 of my little lamination.
Oh, then do
Okay, what about this?
I'll think about
Well,
this.
we'll have to teach them to do this. Okay.
So what to
So,
think about.
just
Well,
in
yeah.
the front.
Do y'all want to
there-
just focus on the next 2 weeks?
Well, hang on, I wanna do
Yeah.
one more thing, okay. Like we could count and see like how many resources we have, okay. So then, at the beginning of the year, or right now, we could go ahead and like fold up like 20 pages. And tab it, as resources or whatever, and then back here just put work.
All the info and
something.
Stuff like that.
So put all of our templates up here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like that.
and then, we'll teach them to do their problem to the side so that
But
they can
use that.
easily flip
Yeah.
to one of their
All their
templates, and they'll all be right
templates,
there,
all
so
be in
they'll
the
easily
front.
be able to find it.
That's
And then when they're
exactly
done,
what they need.
then glue it in. And then the next day, okay, here's our thing. Okay, today we're gonna use the whatever template and do their work.
And see,
back
that's
there,
gonna make
glue
you
it
feel
in.
like you're not wasting your time too.
Exactly. I think that'll
Too
make it
much.
easier.
I mean, it is some more
Or-
time that you normally wouldn't have spent.
And then also, like what we say is like, we've learned all these strategies. You can use this, you can use this, you can.
you have
Remember,
all of your templates.
things are right here.
Yep.
Lay your work here, do your
Perfect.
work, don't glue it in until after you've used
Yep.
whatever strategy you're gonna use, then turn to your.
I can tell you
First
that the
clean
people
page,
that
go
have
ahead.
it like that are seeing more success than the people who are just using it to do pretty activities. The
Mhm.
people who are putting templates in it, kids are actually using them side by side with the work that they're doing, and they're pulling them
And
out.
you know what? That
They're
would,
trying to pull them out during NWA.
and that would be
they're pulling
nice
them
too. Okay, wait. Oh wait, I got another.
Oh my gosh, she's on fire.
Okay, so what we could do is, okay, well, I was trying to think. But, I mean, that could be our, part of our concept development or whatever, or like right after our concept development and do this, we could.
Because they
work
said we
on it
could use the
together.
problem set.
Then they can glue it in,
Yeah.
and then they could do their concept.
And you can skip your application or fluency a couple times a week to make sure
Right.
that you're
You get that
have
time.
Like if you're only doing one interactive notebook input a week,
Yeah.
skip your fluency and application problem and possibly even your exit ticket. Assess the problem set so that way you have
Yeah.
time to do
To-
your interactive notebook.
And I know what I was gonna say. If we got used to using this, cause I don't know about y'all, but I don't like getting out the interactive folder all the time because, it's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And
this
that's
is
a folder.
smaller.
Or smart.
Smart card.
Oh, so we use that.
Well, I do too.
It's a fire.
But I'm
just
thinking
like-
this is
Okay.
smaller.
That's our 5
But I'm
minute
thinking this is
marker.
smaller, so they'll give it.
So do y'all want to look at y'all are lucky kind of, your standards, I'm not going to stand back up and walk over there. Y'all might want to put some notes on what y'all just said about adding some templates, but y'all's standards for the next 2.5 weeks, from the 6th to the 17th, y'all are going to be working on module 2 lesson 7 through module 2 lesson 20, and it's the same standards throughout the whole 2 weeks. So if y'all want to add and subtract fluently with intent, if y'all want to look at these standards and decide something that you'll do in an interactive notebook this week and then this week, or if you want to look at your teacher manual and decide what you're going to do for certain lessons,
Okay.
or if you want to look at these and decide, or if you want to whatever you want to use, just think of 2 different things for those, just one thing a week
Okay.
that you can put into your interactive notebook. If y'all want to at least start on the first week, and then your homework by next Wednesday could be to put the second week, let's do that. Or if y'all want to just even do that, because I know y'all work together almost every day, if y'all want to come up with that by next Wednesday together, but at the bottom put the templates that y'all are going to start off with, because y'all are starting together to
Yeah.
like, if y'all want to put what templates you're going to go ahead and put
10
in
for,
there,
okay.
put that. But just kind of a plan to get started together.
There's a 1
I'm
through
gonna go to the
20 number line that's a template in
Mhm.
module 2. Because I've
Mhm.
saved it. It's skinny. We could cut that off and put it like, it'd have to be at a diagonal because it's long.
We're using that in the morning doing our fluency.
You probably
using
snip it and
Well,
Why
you,
can't we just
make it
shrink it?
small. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. You
well,
just
no,
shrink it.
but I was saying like it would fit on here.
Okay.
Like you'd have to tell the kids, and they listen for them. Like when you're like, you're gonna have to glue it sideways. Like it would totally fit in there because I always have them put it in the Writer Pal. The thing, okay, here's the thing though that I like about the Writer Pal is when you have a template like this, you can't draw all over this. That's the only thing. Is like you're gonna use this multiple times, so you can't
I'm
draw
just.
all
Hey,
over
guess
it.
what I'm doing?
That's why I like a
I'm
writer pad.
mine are using manipulatives.
But like I'm talking about like another template that has like a number bond and then like a number line. Like they're gonna be coloring all over it.
Well, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what's difficult
Oh,
about
but
having.
like what she said, if we could figure out how to laminate it and put it in there.
Just the ones you're going to use a lot.
But how do you get it to stick?
I'll see what Jill uses and I'll let you know.
Could you
Okay,
hot glue
that would be
gun?
great.
Yeah, probably.
Because I'm not kidding. I would rather use this because it's smaller than using the Smart Pal.
So let's
love
go
the Smart Pal
ahead for
'cause
the
I mean,
next
I use it every day.
couple
but-
minutes. If y'all want to start typing in either what templates you want to go in there or what you're going to do for that
Look
week.
at the lesson. How am I gonna find
Is that right
If
here?
y'all want to, y'all can save these 2 for homework for next Wednesday, and if y'all want to put just the templates that are required for first grade for the next couple of weeks.
I mean, right now I've been using Tim frames is what I've been
Okay.
using. That's working great.
So
I've been
I'll let y'all
using
just work
10
together
frames,
and
and then
type
there's-
in what y'all want to put
There's
in
one
there.
template that has a number path. It has 2 addition sentences and has a number bond. And it has a little blank spot here for an illustration. I've been using that for like 3 weeks.
Love
Isn't that what you were using the other day too?
It probably was.
I don't know.
For like a 10 frame and number bond.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
There's several different ones.
I probably will do like what you said just because I have Brad's in here. I'm probably gonna put off of the templates. I'm gonna put them in the front.
So y'all
Okay,
wanna
are we
just
gonna
type that
laminate
out?
them? Because she was saying, like, say on the number bonds and stuff, you know, like,
And you can
so you
reuse
could write
them.
on them.
Probably so. Yeah, probably. I'll probably laminate it on.
I
the
think
big one.
I'm gonna try to
I'll
figure
make
out.
Shelby do it.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to laminate it and put it in here.
Yeah, no, laminate it, and then you
Yeah,
can
but
just
how
get
long
like
does-
your glue gun,
What time do you-
your super glue. Like
15.
I have a glue gun.
Hot glue?
Hot glue, yeah. And then just hot glue.
Okay,
the,
I'm not sure. One of the
the
templates
laminated
is.
page in there.
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I right on this?
That's what I do
1
that all the
through
time.
20.
But you gotta do it yourself.
So she's
Oh,
saying
gosh, yeah.
she's from the 1 through 20 number line that comes
Okay.
from, it's coming up. There's
Okay.
a number line template.
I don't remember if it's in lesson, like I don't remember where lesson it's at. And if it's not in this lesson, I have it anyway, but looking at the standards, it's like 1 through 20 and it's a diagonal. It also has, it's either by 5s or by 10s, it's shaded, different colors.
Okay. Also, are we allowed to put, so in our interactive notebooks, if for like tier 3, am I allowed to pull standards from like maybe a kindergarten?
So tier
interactive
3 means
notebook?
what your student needs.
Yeah, so could I put that, would that
Just
be
not during that
acceptable?
30 minutes
No,
math block. Yeah.
Right, but would it be acceptable to put some tier 3 interventions in my interactive notebook? Like, are they allowed to have some
Yeah,
of those
you
interventions?
just title it Rocket Time.
Right,
Mhm.
right. Just like if I did like a worksheet and I wanted them to be able to look back on it, just like
Yeah.
rocket time.
But
and
during
put the day.
small group math time is tier.
Tier
So
2.
supporting the standard.
So
they
if you
taught that
have
day.
kids that are really low, don't pull them during that time, pull them during rocket time, is what you're saying.
You might want to pull them and support them on the
the
problem
stand,
set,
yeah.
and then pull them
Yeah.
again for one time and say, okay, I can tell that you're not ready to do this, so I'm gonna, in order for you to be able to do the problem set tomorrow, I need to teach you.
You know how to do
your
this.
kindergarten standard.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
did y'all spend time before or after your math block?
After, because we do math right in the beginning of the morning.
I'm assigning this to y'all due by
Okay.
Wednesday, 11/1. If y'all wanna do what kindergarten did and just put pictures, you
Okay.
can. The other grade levels, they said they're gonna put links. Some people are doing it as homework, some people have already done it.
Okay.
I meet with 2nd, 4th, and 5th on Tuesday, so I'll look over it all on Wednesday. But y'all holler at me if you have any questions or ideas, or if you, like, just don't overthink this. Simplify it for yourselves, but also make it useful.
Cool.
Yeah.
But do keep in mind that it is a non-negotiable that
Absolutely.
they,
So,
try to make it as useful as possible, but also use it.
could I keep the notebooks and pass them out every day?
At that time,
For
yeah,
math.
for sure.
Sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all I needed to.
Yeah.
As long as I could keep it,
Yeah.
other than that, and then I could give.
I
would.
would want to do the same thing.
I
don't want
just
them to
no.
mess
I
them
mean,
up
they
or
know. They
destroy them
literally
or
know they're
color.
Pennington notebooks.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
mm-mm.
So
But
pass them
so
out-
I can do that during
Pass them out
nap
to the
time.
beginning and then say, hey, we're about to do our concept development.
Perfect.
You have your notebook.
Perfect.
You need
Okay.
to be pulling it out and looking
Amazing.
back at da-da-da-da-da.
That's all I need. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So
There's-
that works. As long
There's one where it has like
Oh,
the
yeah.
5 groups, and then this is the one that I was talking about.
Yes. that'll fit
Ooh,
perfect.
I like
But I was
that.
saying like you could have 2. I know it's 2 templates, so it's only like 2 things in your workbook. But I'm like, they use those templates for a long
They use
time.
yes.
But like this would be helpful when you're like.
So
grouping and
you
stuff.
could also snip one of the problem set questions as your output next to that, and
That-
it could be like a couple of outputs that align to the
With the
input
same
of that
input.
template. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
It does. I'm just time is really hard. Like
if you wanted to
That's
go
why I was
cut
saying-
some of your problem set though, if it's a question from your problem set,
okay,
put
yeah.
put your must do problem in your interactive notebook and use that template.
Okay.
That's why I was saying, if we
Yeah,
had
that-
all of
yeah.
those.
You don't always have to do your problem set in your Learn
Interactive
notebook.
notebook
In
or
your
yeah,
Learn
yeah,
notebook.
yeah.
What'd you say?
The thing
You always
though-
have to what?
You don't always have to use your student notebook as your problem set. Like,
Well, I always
you
tell
can
them to
do-
refer to it as
Yes,
notes for their exit ticket.
See, that's why I
To
was
flip
thinking.
back. That's why I.
That's why I was thinking that, like, if we had the 10 frame,
But they can
everything
refer
that
to
we use a
their
10 frame
notebook.
for, right behind it, they'd be like,
Exit
oh,
ticket.
Oh yeah,
using
we
their
use
10 frame
that's
for
what
that.
we use that
But they
for.
already have counters out. They already have their router pal out. They're doing their note. It's just that's why I gotta figure this out because it's kind of like
It's just tweaking.
yeah. I have like a lot of stuff that they already like. I walked past the kids.
And if you want to swing by me one-on-one and like let's talk
Yeah.
about it by Wednesday.
Can I
and
ask you
just-
something?
Yeah,
When y'all are
of
done?
course. I signed this. Thank you guys for y'all's time and ideas.
Well, if you have that thing still pulled up, this is lesson 12 fluency template and lesson 18. I don't know if that's helpful.
Lesson 12.
12 and then lesson 18.
Okay, I'm
But-
putting that on there.
Okay.
And so whenever
I
I'm doing walkthroughs, those 2 weeks, I'll be looking specifically at interactive notebooks.
Okay.
My goal is to get that to 100% by the end of the second 9 weeks.
Okay.
End of the
So
year, what?
help me reach the goal, guys.
I gotta ask you something. So
Thanks, y'all.
what we're trying to do is we're trying to add, using 10, okay? So, you know, like take 2 from there, so 10 plus 1, right? Okay. So the kids can't do it. So they have this on their desk,
Yes.
take down, and so I'm like, I'm the 8. How many more? 1, 2, 3. Is that okay for those kids? I don't know. Well, it's not really the goal, it's not 10 plus 1.
Standard,
what I'm
what's the
saying?
standard exactly
That's it.
say that once